Hey out there, legal warriors. Common police interrogation techniques, or ways the police try to get you to say some stuff that's going to hurt you. Are you interested in the criminal law? This is a pretty interesting area. If so, stay tuned. This is the video for you. My name is Attorney Lance Fryrear. I'm a defense attorney in Linwood, Washington. My law firm's been defending people charged with crimes all throughout Washington state for more than 20 years. I'm putting out these videos to help educate the public. So if you find this useful, please like and please subscribe. More people will get the help they need. Now I'm just going to jump right into it. Well, I'm a legal professional and I've been doing this for 30 years, 7+ years on the prosecution side, well more than 20 years on the defense side. I'm a lay person. I am not a trained police officer, but I have been around the block enough that I can give you some tips about what are common police interrogation techniques to watch out for. So while I'm putting out this video to make sure that people in the public are educated and they don't make a mistake and don't fall for some of the traps that can lead to a police officer building a case against an innocent person. And police officers don't necessarily intend that. They have a complainant who's told them something and they're following up on it. So the person who might be saying something not true is really to blame, not the police, but it's my job to protect us from that type of government conduct that tricks us and, may end up imprisoning us. So what normally happens? Well, in the cases that I see, we'll have law enforcement either call someone on their phone or show up on at the door wanting to talk to somebody. So what are some common things to watch out for? Well, hey Bill, we've had someone say something about you. Would you mind coming down to the station and talking to us about it? No, you don't want to go down and talk to them about it. The technique is being vague. The technique is seen like, hey, just tell us what happened. We want to hear your side of the story. And so what are we thinking? Well, they just want to hear our side, so they're trying to be fair. And please do not assume that law enforcement is trying to be fair. There are some officers, absolutely, who are neutral and don't take a strong position, but you don't know which ones those are. There are just as many that I've run into that are almost have a political position that you are guilty, and they're going to do whatever trick they can to get you to say something that makes you look guilty based upon their theory. So that casual approach is one technique. Another technique is appealing basically to your sense of fairness, right? Your sense of wanting to be treated fairly. Well, hey, Mr. Defendant, hey, Bill, you don't want me to only write down what they said, right? Don't you want your side in there too? Don't you also want your side so the prosecutor can see your side? Well, you might want your side in there also, but not if we don't know what the officer's talking about ahead of time, right? And not without an attorney going down there. So that is another technique to watch out for, is for them to get more aggressive with you, saying, hey, I really want to be able to, it needs to be fair. Your side needs to be in there too, to sort of get you angry about what the other side is saying. Again, what we're trying to avoid is you going down and talking to police without either the help of an attorney or at least talking to an attorney, because usually we just shouldn't be talking to the police if they're looking at us as a suspect. So let's say that we do go down and submit to an interview. What are some things to watch out for? Well, if the officer is being very friendly and really understanding of something that doesn't make a lot of sense, they would be understanding. Well, we could see why you did this, Bill. You were really mad at this person, and so anyone would feel justified to do that. Does that even make sense? If you're hearing an officer say that, does that make sense to you? If you're feeling emotional, if they're trying to make you feel justified in doing something, that's not their job when they're talking to you as a suspect. They are trying to get you to admit to doing something that is illegal and sort of guide you down the path, right? That to make you feel that they believe it's justified, and you're sort of tricked into thinking you are justified and it's okay to make this admission of doing whatever, right? And just don't do that, right? But if the practice pointer is, if you're feeling emotional, they're building emotion, there's too much righteous indignation going through you because they're building you up. That's a technique that can be used effectively, that identification with you, to build that rapport with you, so then they can confront you and get you to make an admission, right? That's another technique that I've seen. Another type of technique we see is a direct confrontation, right? Where they just go, we don't believe that. You expect us to believe that? You expect us to believe that's what happened? Oh, come on. They'll appeal to your manhood, your humanity. Just tell us what happened. Just tell us what happened, because look, I'm not done, right? And that pressure to confess may build up, because believe it or not, most people don't realize that the law enforcement, the authority, can represent parent to us, in my opinion. In other words, we've got that parental figure, this person of authority, who's scolding us, who's accusing us of something, who's showing comfort to us. That's why you often see different gendered police officers, in my opinion, because one person may have a better reaction to the mother figure or a better reaction to the father figure. And if we're going to prepare for a very serious interrogation, we need to know about the parents. And, I've seen clients where they would break down with a male interrogator and be totally fine with the female because the father was so strict, right? Things like that. So there's a lot that can go on in these interrogation techniques. And another thing you see is just if you've been told you're free to leave, and you're feeling funny about it. First of all, you should always leave. But if you're feeling funny about they're leaving you alone for a long period of time, just get up and leave, right? Quit talking. So, there's too many things that can go wrong in an interrogation. If you do go into an interrogation, my personal preference is I do want it recorded, right? Audio recorded for accuracy. I do not want it video recorded, because, most of the communication in the world that we take in is visual, right? There's a reason why a movie is more popular than a radio show, because we are visual creatures. We remember what we see. And we've all seen the videos on TV, right, where there's a suspect who's being interrogated, and we naturally think they're guilty because, so they're interrogated. So no matter what you do on that video, you're guilty, right? You're putting your head down because you're guilty. You're putting your head down. You're faking all the stuff. Video is not going to help. And you don't have to agree to be videoed. You don't have to agree to talk to them at all. So, if we're going to do some type of interrogation, it's going to be on our terms or not at all, right? And we're going to do it for a reason to help us, and it's going to be on our terms or not at all. Because, again, we have no obligation to speak to the government. We can't lie if we speak to the government, but in this country, we have a right to remain silent. We need to use it unless we have a reason not to. So this has just been, a little layperson's version of defense attorney for many years of what I see. The more cagey an officer's acting, the more they're against you. And if they're hyper friendly, sometimes that's a bad sign as well. Bottom line, assume that the officer's trying to build a case against you. That's why they're talking to you. And let your attorney figure out with you about, can you help yourself by talking to the attorney, by the police, by clearing the air, by getting important facts out that they need to know to do a fair and honest job. I'm really happy we have police. They protect us all. But this is a video about not getting tricked into admitting something you didn't do and building a case against yourself that you didn't do. I don't want that to happen. I think everybody would agree. None of us wants that to happen to someone who's innocent. And let's make sure it doesn't. So if you found this video useful, please like and please subscribe. More people get the help they need. And more importantly, if you have a criminal matter you need some help, feel free to reach out to my firm. We'll listen to what happened. We'll identify a way forward. We will be there for you. Thank you.